Good morning, YouTubers. Asian Truck Man here. It's been a while since I've uploaded, and the reason has been is we've had some technical difficulties. We've had a couple of videos I tried to upload, and for some reason it would not upload. So we're going to try this again, and if not, I'm going to end up having to get a GoPro. But what we're going to talk about today is leveling your truck. I've had a couple of guys ask me, what's the general cost? What do you have to do? And I think there's one or two things that a lot of guys don't consider whenever you are looking to level your truck. So today what I'm going to talk about is leveling your truck and the cost, which are variable. So please don't flame me if you buy a different set of tires or whatnot. But let's kick this off by talking about the different types of leveling kits you can get. Guys, there's a bunch of different types of leveling kits that you can get for your pickup truck. There's a lot of them that are on eBay. A lot of them come from a name brand company like Rough Country or Rancho. But there's two different kinds that you can get. Well, I mean, technically three different kinds. So the first type that you can get, which my truck doesn't have, is you can get a strut leveler. So what it is a spacer that goes between the strut and the, I guess you would call it the frame. I'm sure there's another word for it, so feel free to chime in on that. And what that does is it, 2 1/4 to 3 inches, and to level your truck. Okay, usually those run about 90 to 100 bucks. All right, so the third type is you can get a strut leveler kit, and so what that is it's a different spring, and it's longer. It comes with a longer shock, and it extends the travel or extends the height of the suspension, and then you can level your truck like that. Typically those going to be a little bit more, I'm just kind of guesstimating, shoot from the hip here, you're going to about $200 to $400 for one of those. So that's the second type that you can get. So the one that my truck has, it's got the shock spacer down here at the bottom, and you can kind of see it right there, that little black piece that's in between the shock and the A-arm. And so, to me, it really doesn't, it does and it doesn't matter. So a shock leveler, you're probably going to look at about $75 to $100 to get one of those for your pickup truck. Same thing there, 2 1/4 to roughly probably about 2 3/4, 2.5 inches, and this truck's got a 2.5 inch on it. And another thing that you have to include is that you are going to have to get an alignment, or it's going to wear your brand new tires out. So as we kind of reach that subject, let's talk about tires. This truck, I believe, could fit, if I really wanted to put them on there and we did a little trimming, a 35 1250 20, which these are 20-inch rims. But it does have, and this is what most guys I would say go with, is between this and a 285. This has got 275 65 R20s, which is a 34.3, which this truck, it still rides pretty good. It's a little stiffer now that it's got the leveling kit on it. But the thing is with tires, for a set of tires like this, or 285s or 35 1250 20s, you're probably looking at about $1,000 to $1,200 to put a good set of tires on there. You might could find some no names or some out of China if you really wanted to put Chinese tires on your truck. That's your own prerogative. You're really looking at probably $800 probably about $800 once they're mounted and balanced and everything. So that's really, the main things when you think about leveling your truck, that, are the initial costs. Most guys, I think, go on here, and I'm going to go back inside where it's a little bit warmer because it's about 20 degrees outside up here in the Northeast, that you really think about. So the next thing we're going to talk about here, and I'm going to do a full review on this whenever I get some more time, is most guys don't really think about this, but you really need a tuner for your truck. And when I talk about tuner, so I got a Predator, I think it's an i2 tuner, which if you buy one on eBay brand new, you're looking about $300 bucks. I'm going to talk about this in another video, but I got this as a refurbished unit, and you can find these on eBay. They're about $100 less than just buying a brand new one. And it does the same exact thing. So you ask me, well, you don't need a tuner for that truck. Well, in fact, yes, you do. The reason is because number one, the speedometer is going to be off. And whenever the speedometer is off, the truck and the the tires and the transmission directly correlate with each other. So whenever you step up your tire size 2 to 3 different sizes, your computer in your truck still thinks that you've got 31-inch tires on there. So it's going to shift the transmission like it's got 31-inch tires on there. And so for longevity, it makes sense to go ahead and get the tuner and get the speedometer adjusted, thus correcting the shift points in the pickup truck. Because if you tow large loads or you're driving uphill, it's really going to hunt for gears, and that's what I ran into with this pickup truck. This truck's got the max tow, so that helped it out a little bit more. So it's got a 373 in it. But if you don't adjust your tire size, the truck is going to really hunt gears. It's not going to be really in the power band either. All that stuff kind of works in harmony with what we also call the active fuel management system on this truck. So whenever you have a 4-cylinder truck, or an 8-cylinder truck, and it switches down into 4-cylinder mode, and the transmission thinks that it still has 31s on it, it's really going to lug and switch in and out of the AFM DOD mode. I'm trying to think the best way without overcomplicating it. It just makes the truck drive really funny. And so whenever it's shifting funny and then it doesn't know when correctly to go in and out of the AFM mode, it just, all the computer systems in the truck are just kind of like, well, what the heck? I'm not saying that the truck won't drive fine and go down the road. Mine drove fairly fine. It was a little clunky in the transmission, and I thought to myself, I was like, well, you know, this truck for me is going to last a long time. I mean, this truck, you know, I didn't pay $58,000 for it, but it was stickered at 58. Still, you know, if you get incentives and everything, it's still a $45,000 pickup truck. So this thing's going to last a little while. So I bought this tuner to really help, you know, because whenever you're shifting all the time like that, it can't be good for the drivetrain. It's not good for the joints. It's not good for the transmission. It's not good for the differentials. So in doing that, long story short, the transmission shifts a lot better. I adjusted the tire size on it. I actually turned the AFM DOD off. I've seen a gain, you know, I've seen a gain and a loss by turning off the AFM DOD. But you know, that's going to make the truck last longer by turning that active fuel management off of it. So whenever you look at one of these tuners, you're looking at about $200-300, and yes, you can go out there and you can get some different tunes for it. You can have a professional tune done, which is going to be about $400 or $500. But really, that's the one piece that a lot of people don't think about whenever they level their pickup truck, is you need to tune the transmission for the tires that you're putting on the pickup truck, because all those systems, they work in harmony together. And if you don't do that, the truck is going to drive really funky. And whenever you go to pass somebody, there's usually a lot of hesitation because all the systems think that the truck still has 31-inch tires on it. So if you really think about it, you know, you're looking at a set of tires, you know, we'll call it $1,000. The leveling kit, if you put it on yourself, it's probably going to be about $100. Most guys pay someone to put it on. You're typically looking at about $500, including the whatever you call it, the alignment. And then lots of times, you know, depending on how old your truck is, you may have some suspension or ball joint work that you may need to have done to it also. This truck's pretty new, so we didn't have to worry about that. I had a couple of my buddies that did ball joints or upper A-arms or, you know, pitman arms, stuff like that. But so we'll just call it $1,500, and you're looking at a tuner for about $200 to $300. So totally you're looking at, you know, really probably about $1,800, $2,000 investment to get the truck leveled where it needs to be at. You know, obviously if your old tires are in pretty good shape, you can take those off and sell them. But overall, my recommendation is go ahead and buy the tuner first and then do everything else later. A lot of guys, you know, that I've known do not want to buy the tuner, but it's something that you really need / got to have. It will extend the life of your truck if you do keep it. And it'll make it drive a lot better too. So I'll be doing a comprehensive video on the tuner that I purchased off of eBay as a refurb, and we'll talk about some of the options that came with that as well. But I appreciate the time, guys, and hopefully this video uploads. Thank you.